What's 369?
369 is the truck number, and it's 369 because damn she's fine.
Okay, let's do it.
This is a Sun Valley 8 car, but they call it their low pro because this top deck will come all the way down to here, which is unique for car haulers because you can load it from the ground level. So the first thing we generally do is we drop the air out of the trailer to drop it a couple inches. That keeps you from rubbing any of the front of the cars. And on these trailers, they're kind of nice because just about everything is hydraulic. The ramps are even hydraulic. So on this one, we've just got a switch that'll activate the hydraulics. You push the lever and you start getting the ramps to go straight out in the back.
This is my home. Right now I've got my bunk down. I've got my winter gear stored up here is what I've got. But in the summertime, this is folded up.
Okay.
And so that I've got all this room here.
Okay.
I've got a closet that I can store clothes in. I've got a refrigerator that I can store cold food,
nice.
and then
drinks.
And then I can put some frozen stuff up here. I got utility drawers for different items in there.
It's got a little microwave here.
I got my microwave,
nice.
which is very handy. So I got my oil temperature gauge right here, which is very critical. You want to make sure what your oil temperature is running at all time. You got your front drive axle. That's a temperature gauge for your front drive axle. The suspension. This will tell how much load you have on your trailer. This is an air filter. You want it running at 0 on your air filter. This is the rear axle drive temperature.
Nice.
And of course my fuel gauge.
So you can use either one axle or both.
Well, it records both of them, but we have a switch right here. We have a switch right here that I can lock it in, and then it's driving both of them at the same time. But it'll give you a temperature on both gauges. But we only use this in ice and snow, or when we're chained up. So this is a dump valve that'll dump the drive axle on the trailer. And this one here is to, which they've got it covered so you can't bump it.
Right.
But this is to slide your fifth wheel.
Okay.
That's where the trailer hooks onto.
We want to start lifting the whole top deck off so we can pull out the bottom cars first. What you want to watch for are the pinch points. Like if you look here, there's only a couple inches between these cars. So if you lift that back deck up too much, they'll come together. So you just got to be very kind of mindful of everything. It's good to walk back and forth a couple of times and kind of see where your issue points are going to be and then lift it up accordingly. So this is just a roller through here. This is a pin that just keeps it in place. And you just use a breaker bar to loosen that up. Each strap has these little rubber stoppers on them. They're tire grooves. These fit in between the tires so it keeps the strap from slipping from one side to the other. Some cars are already a little beat up. This one's already got some scratches and some loose things on it. It was a used car, but you got to treat them all about the same and make sure you're not adding any damage to anything.
You take note of the damage to each vehicle, basically?
We do. We do a bill of lading, which is basically a report of the mileage and the condition of the car before we ever take it.
This is my tractor brake.
Okay.
This is my trailer brake.
Okay.
Most generally we always set this, but when we're unloading we have to have both of them pulled out so that we can operate the back trailer there. This is my Jake brake here. That means it's on, and I usually pretty much leave it on. And then you got there's 1 stage, 2 stage, 3 stage. So depending on the hill that you're going down, you may you may have to feather that back and forth.
Okay.
So that you're not using your brakes. I don't like using my brakes coming down the hill. So of course, there's your
DEF.
that's the DEF. That's the efficiency fuel. This is my air pressure gauge, which usually runs closer to 150, but we've used some air out of here, so it's dropped down. But that tells me that what my primary and secondary air filter or air pressure is. This is my my brake pressure here. So if I pull this handle down, that tells me how much application and or on the foot.
Okay.
It tells me how much I'm applying to my brakes.
Okay.
Of course, speedometer, fuel, tack, my battery, which is critical. This is my oil pressure gauge and my water temperature gauge. Those are the two that I watch a lot right there.
So you guys are not using chains, but straps?
We're using straps, and that's kind of the way the industry's going anyway. We use over-the-wheel straps to basically protect the frame, because chain trailers, what they do is, much like here, they've still got rollers on them, but the chains will hook to the bottom of the car. Some transporters will wrench on them too hard, and it'll actually pull the eye holes out of the frame. So if your car is delivered with chains, you want to make sure that you peek under there and make sure that they haven't been out your frame, because technically that's frame damage and could be a big deal. If you had a Chevy Traverse back here and maybe like a sedan on the bottom, like a Cadillac or something like that, you might get overweight. You're allowed to be 34,000 pounds on your trailer axles between the two of them. So if you run over a scale and you're 35,000 pounds, you'll get a fine for it.
That's a 13 speed.
Okay.
So you go through your bottom set, and then you split it to the high side.
Okay.
And then go back through the gears again, and then you go, that's low, and that's high.
Okay.
Is what you do. So
thank you for coming and kind of showing everybody what it is we do. And Ray makes it look easy, but I promise it's not.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thanks a lot.
Well, last time you saw me, we had a Ford F450 of 2011. I drove that and drove that and drove that until it had about 250,000 miles on it, and took it to Ford, and they gave me some pretty good money for it, and I got a new one.
Okay.
There was nothing really currently wrong with the old one, but for tax write-off purposes and just to get into something that maybe I didn't have any unforeseen maintenance, I got this F350 Platinum.